Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Teens Talk with Nifemi. It's your host Oluwanifemi, and I'm so happy to be here once again. I hope you are doing good, and I hope you are fine, and I hope your week was good too. So yeah, last week episode we talked on dealing with fatigue part 2, and we had an amazing guest speaker SB to discuss with us on that topic, and she really did justice to that topic. Honestly, she talked about how to deal with fatigue, what causes fatigue, and the side effects of fatigue, and it was really educative. And this is me saying that if you have not listened to that episode yet, please listen to that episode and don't miss out on the important points. Thank you so much. So, how my week went? Before I tell you how my week went, I'm sure you'll be wondering why I always tell you how my week went every single time. Hmm. I just consider this podcast as a safe space. So I'm always happy to always share how my week went, because it's like a way of letting out my feelings and just speaking to my listeners. And really, it makes me happy and it makes me glad, because holding this mic, even when I'm not in a good mood, holding this mic takes me to a very happy place, and I'm always happy holding the mic and recording an episode. So yes, I'll always be gisting you how my week went. Don't get tired of me. Oh. Thank you. So my week was hectic. I will not lie, my week was actually hectic. And I know that you say that this girl is always saying she's stressed, this girl is always saying she's tired. Yes, I said I've started my IT. So yes, it's a bit hectic, but despite it all, I've met amazing people. I've learned a whole lot actually. The IT has been enlightening, it has been educative, and despite the stress, I'm gaining a lot. And there was something my dad said earlier this week, and I really took it at the back of my hand because it really stood out for me. He said, success is not served a la carte, which means that success is not served on your lap. So, the sweetest part of success is hard work, and hard work has stress involved. So you need to be willing to put in your all to actually achieve that sweet success that you want. So yes, despite how hectic it is, I get to gain a lot, and I get to network with pharmacists, and it is an amazing experience actually. So despite how hectic it is, I'm enjoying myself. Yes. So, that being said, let's get into the business of today. Welcome back from that short break. So, today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, and I've realized that most people go through that in one way or the other. So, the topic for today is imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon in which people doubt their skills, talents, or accomplishments, and they have an internalized fear of being exposed as frauds. This means that they feel inadequate, they feel incompetent, and they are always objective at every evidence of their success. And you can also say that it means when they feel like they don't deserve what they want. And what are the general causes of this imposter syndrome? One is family upbringing and dynamics that emphasize success, perfection, or high expectations. There are some times, or there are some families that, let's say, every one of them is successful, every one of them have attained a high level of success. Being a member of that family, you feel pressured to reach that level of success everybody in your family has reached, and peradventure you don't attain that particular level of success, you start feeling down, you start feeling that you are not among of that family, and then you start perceiving yourself as not worth it. You start seeing or viewing yourself as less. There are people that want everything to be perfect. Anything they do, they want to see perfection in it. I'm just here to say that nobody is perfect. People tend to make mistakes. So when you start feeling that everything you do must be perfect and you don't eventually make that particular thing perfect, then you'll be feeling that you did not do your best, even though you put so much effort in that particular thing. Because you wanted it to be perfect, you feel that you did not put in your best, and then it makes you start doubting yourself. It makes you have low self-esteem because you want to be perfect. Another thing is social anxiety, or the fear of being judged by others. The fear of not being perfect affects a lot of people because the fact that they have to be perfect bothers them a whole lot, and they are always scared at every slightest thing. If I don't do this thing well, what will people say about me? If I fail, what will people say about me? They start feeling scared of how much they will be judged by others. And I'm just here to tell you that don't listen to people's judgments. You are meant to stand strong, you are meant to stand tall no matter the circumstance. And it's not all the time people's comments matter, because people can just comment just to bring you down. People can just comment just to discourage you. So don't be afraid of being judged by anybody. Stand tall and stand strong and believe in yourself. So I'll also be talking of how we overcome this imposter syndrome. I'll first say that imposter syndrome is not a disease and it is not an illness. So you can certainly overcome it. And it happens to everybody. It has happened to me, and I've certainly overcome it, or will I say I am overcoming it. First thing to do is recognize your accomplishments. At every point in your life, or at one point in your life, you have accomplished something, and I'm sure of that. Remind yourself of who you are. Have a reminder of your successes. You should learn to document your wins. You should learn to celebrate them. No matter how small your wins are, learn to celebrate them, because it is a great accomplishment. When I reach a particular number of plays on my podcast, I'm always happy and I celebrate it. I celebrate it on my status because yes, I worked for it. I put in the effort and I got what I wanted to get. I celebrate my accomplishment. I'm always happy because I was able to accomplish this particular thing. So always remind yourself of the amazing, brilliant, and wonderful person that you are. Don't for any time look down on yourself. Another thing is stop comparing. There is an episode on social comparison, and I feel you should listen to it. I'll be posting the link in the description box. So please listen to that episode. That was an amazing episode, because people tend to compare themselves to other people, and I would say that is a very big problem in people's lives. Do not compare yourself to anybody, because when you start comparing yourself to people, you will start pressurizing yourself to attain the amount of success they have attained. And I'm telling you, people grow differently, people adapt differently. So people's successes are different. They are wonderfully and fearfully made. So do not at any time compare yourself to anybody. Accept yourself for who you are. One thing you should do is know your self-worth. Have acceptance for yourself. Do not feel intimidated by anybody. Another thing is acknowledge your awesomeness. Like I said earlier, you are awesome, you are wonderful, and you are brilliant, and you have to acknowledge it and come into the realization of that. Another thing is talk to someone about it. Someone who knows and supports you. It can be your family, it can be your friend, it can be your mentor, someone that you relate with, that you flow with easily, that you feel free talking to the person, you feel comfortable talking to the person. Share it with somebody. Share your fears and doubts with someone that you trust, because obviously there are times you feel scared because you are not meeting up with a set target that you set for yourself. And there are times you feel like you have not accomplished anything and you're just wasting your time in life. There are times you feel that way. And there are times you actually need to let it out. Because keeping it in, thinking about it, does a lot of damage that you can never imagine. So always learn to share your thoughts with somebody. Always learn to talk to someone about it when you are bothered about anything. Another one is avoid perfectionism and unrealistic expectation. Nobody is perfect. So no matter how you try to put in effort in something, remove the idea of being perfect at that thing. You can try your best to be good at something, not to be perfect at that thing. So that you don't end up putting so much pressure on yourself because you want to be perfect. Celebrate your successes no matter how small. No matter how much that thing is not so perfect, celebrate because you put so much effort, you put so much time, and you put so much energy in that thing. Know that you are not the only one. I said earlier, imposter syndrome is not a sickness, it is not a disease. Everyone has gone through it at one point in their life. So know that you are not the only one. Others struggle with it too, and you can get over it. Everyone can get over it. You can get over it. So don't see it as a stigma. Then you now start isolating yourself because of that, and you start feeling that, oh, you are the only one that goes through it. Nobody else goes through it. So let me just keep it to myself. You are not the only one that goes through it. I have gone through it before, and you are not alone, and you can surely get over it. Okay, and I want us to cultivate the habit of saying positive affirmations to ourselves, because not only does it give you self confidence, it changes your mindset. Affirmations like, I'm a strong and capable person, I'm worthy of my achievements, I have the power to create change, and my accomplishments are valid. Have positive affirmations for yourself. You can even write them in your journal. And when you wake up every morning and you look at it and you say it to yourself, it automatically sticks in your head. And the more you say good things about yourself, the more you feel good about yourself, and the more you don't let bad energy or bad things get to you. Like I said, I've gone through it before. There are times that I've put in efforts in a lot of things in my podcasts, like recording times and times in our numbers, and there are times I don't actually get the amount of plays I want to get. And sometimes it weighs me down, and I'm like, look at other people's podcasts. Some of them have even reached 1 million plays, and I'm still here. Do you get? All those thoughts come to me once in a while, and there are times I actually feel less of myself, and I feel like, what's going on? Am I not putting enough effort as I would have loved to put? And I end up thinking that my efforts were useless at the end of the day. And most times when I feel that way, I pray about it. So I just speak to myself, and I'm like, Nifemi, you have put a lot of effort into this. You know the time and you know the energy you put into this. So don't let anything get to you. And yes, I actually feel so much better. There are times that I look at myself and I'm sitting to myself and I'm like, Femi, what have you gained? What are you doing with your life? There are times such thoughts come to me. And then when I sit down and I actually think about it, I've accomplished a lot. And that's why because I'm worth it. And because I did it, not by my strength, but by God's strength. So I have to celebrate it because I did it. So always learn to celebrate yourself. Okay, so before I end today's episode, I just want to tell you that you are enough and you are worth it. And I have a word for someone today. There are a lot of things God will have you do, and God has a lot of great plans for you. You are just getting started. He is just getting started with you. Just be patient and trust in Him. Okay? Thank you so much for staying till the end of this episode. Please listen, comment, send your reviews, because it really goes a long way in encouraging me and letting me know how I can improve on episodes. You can even suggest topics I should talk about, and I'll surely answer and I'll surely respond. Okay? And please share to your friends. share on your statuses, share on your Instagram handles, Instagram stories, and let people hear more about Things Talk in a Femi podcast. I love you guys, but remember,